Good evening. The time now is 11 p.m. Our top stories. Premier hints at extra bonus by year-end. METMALAYSIA warns of sweltering weather in Sarawak to last up until Monday. And man pleaded guilty to 32 counts of raping and sexual assault of stepdaughter. Those are the headlines for tonight. Hello there, you're now with me, Del Talit, and you're now tuning in to TVS Nightline. Sarawakans residing in West Malaysia had the opportunity to break fast in an iftar ceremony graced by the head of state Tun Pehin Sri Abdul Taib Mahmud as well as the Premier of Sarawak, Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg earlier tonight. The event, held at Berjaya Times Square in Kuala Lumpur, was organised by Astana Negeri Sarawak. Now for details, we join our reporter Hafizur Musamir in Kuala Lumpur. Take it away, Hafizur.
Thank you, Douglas. Earlier tonight, we attended the iftar ceremony at Manhattan Ballroom at Berjaya Times Square Hotel, which organized by Astana Negeri Sarawak. For information, the event tonight was graced by Head of State Tun Pehin Sri Abdul Taib Mahmud and wife Tuh Puan Datuk Patinggi Ragat Kurdi Taib. Also present tonight was the Premier of Sarawak, Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg and wife. And during the event, 50 ASNAF individuals, comprising 38 individuals from Persatuan Anak Libang Sarawak, and 12 individuals from Persatuan Budaya Pasar Borneo Seri Kembangan received cash assistance from the state government. Also for highlight, tonight's events is the first program attended by Abang Johari in conjunction with his 2-day visit to Kuala Lumpur. Tomorrow he is scheduled to be attending another iftar ceremony with Sarawakian that residing in West Malaysia. I think that is all the quick update from Kuala Lumpur. I'm Hafizul Muzamir and Faitullah Morni for TVS Kuala Lumpur. Back to studio.
Thank you, Hafiz, for the details. Now, if you're feeling hotter than usual recently, well, you're not the only one. Sarawak is currently experiencing sweltering weather, which is expected to last up until Monday, with high temperatures ranging between 34 to 36 degrees Celsius are forecasted up until Monday, April 17. Nonetheless, the Malaysia Meteorological Department, or METMALAYSIA, said that Malaysia is currently in the transition from the La Nina phase to the El Nino phase during this period, and Sarawak should expect fair weather from next Tuesday onwards. Early this week, the sight of red sunset and sunrise on Friday caught the attention of the public over social media. Similarly, Sarawak is ready for the drier months forecasted ahead, with due attention to be given to select hotspot potential areas such as Miri. Sarawak Disaster Management Committee SDMC Chairman Dato' Amar Douglas Uga Umbas said the committee is armed and ready for all eventualities brought about by the dry spells.
Citing a local online portal, Uga, who is also the Deputy Premier, said a meeting will be called soon involving all 11 agencies under SDMC, adding that the committee will be briefed by the Ministry of Environment on potential hotspots in Sarawak. Additionally, Uga said the Premier, Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, has also approved an allocation amounting to 29 million ringgit for river cleanup in preparation for the monsoon season at the end of the year. The allocation is to minimize the occurrence of flash floods in cities, towns and settlement areas, adding that clogged rivers were the possible cause of the recent flood episodes.
A swimming instructor in Malacca pleaded guilty at 2 session courts today to 32 counts of raping and sexually assaulting his teenage stepdaughter. This comes following news reports that the police found the teenager had been raped by her stepfather since 2020, and the incidents were believed to take place at their family home.
The 37-year-old man entered the plea after the charges were read to him before Judge Muhammad Sabri Ismail and Judge Dharma Fikri Abu Adam. Both courts fixed May 15 for sentencing. The prosecution also requested that no bail be granted to the accused to ensure his presence in court. The accused was charged with 12 counts of raping the victim, and the charges were framed under Section 376(2) of the Penal Code, which carries a maximum of 30 years jail term, and whipping, and Section 376(1) of the same code, which provides for an imprisonment of up to 20 years and whipping. He also pleaded guilty to 8 charges of having sex with the victim without her consent under Section 377(a) of the Penal Code, which carries a maximum jail term of up to 30 years and whipping upon conviction. The accused was also charged with 12 counts of sexual assault under Section 14(a) of the Sexual Offences Against Children Act 2017, which carries a jail term of up to 20 years and whipping. Last Sunday, the police arrested the victim's stepfather and mother at the Kuala Lumpur International Airport 2, KLIA 2, shortly after they arrived from Sabah to assist in the investigation of their daughter's rape case, which led her to run away from home. The teenager was found in Perak 2 weeks after she was reported missing.
Sarawak Premier Datuk Petinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg has hinted at a higher bonus by year-end for the state's civil servants. This is to alleviate their financial situations in preparation for their children's school needs.
Jadi sebab itu, kalau ada kita nak berikan hari raya, Cina Tahun Baru, dan juga perayaan-perayaan negara, Christmas, kita berikan pada hujung tahun. Katakan saya beri pada hemat saya selalulah 1 bulan atau sebulan setengah. Ia tetap ada. Dan untuk raya tu campur di sini. Untuk perayaan Cina Tahun Baru campur di sini. Bermakna kita ada 1.5 month plus what is meant for next year.
He said this when speaking at the symbolic ceremony of RAYA Contributions 2023 held at Wisma Bapa Malaysia on Friday. According to the Premier, the State Cabinet has also agreed to replace the RAYA incentive that will be channeled at the end of every year.
Habis, jadi pendekatan saya balikan pada negeri lain. Kerana saya rasa inilah sumbangsih daripada kerajaan. Sumbangsih ujung tahun. Itu sumbangsih lain. Jadi kita dapat meringankan beban dari kakak kita.
At the same time, Abang Johari also urged the public to spend prudently during each festivities in order to guarantee their financial stability.
Premier of Sarawak, Datuk Petinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, has expressed the state government's willingness to offer a site for the development of border control posts between Malaysia and Indonesia, as the offer aims to increase the number of border control posts to counter the entry of illegal immigrants into the state.
He added that the addition of border control posts could also enhance the capabilities of the Sarawak Immigration, Customs, Quarantine and Security ICQS complex.
Kita sedia, kita ada, tapi border post kita sematan adalah di bawah kerajaan persekutuan, defense. Jadi kita ini ada kuasa, tapi kita bekerjasama dengan kerajaan persekutuan. Menawarkan tapak.
Abang Johari also expressed his gratitude towards Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim for approving an additional allocation of 1 billion ringgit for upgrading infrastructure along the Sarawak and Sabah border. The border between the two Bornean states spans 1,881 kilometers and separates Sarawak and Sabah in Malaysia from the Kalimantan region in Indonesia. At the same time, Abang Johari also suggested that the Tepedu border control post be relocated and upgraded to be closer to the Malaysia-Indonesia border to curb smuggling activities in the free zone or unowned land.
Now, Sarawak is planning to introduce 3D printing systems for houses and building constructions in a short amount of time with the help of Chinese experts. Premier of Sarawak, Datuk Petinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, said that this decision is in line with the state government's goal of adopting advanced technologies in the state's development.
Waktu itu saya hantar kumpulan binaan construction company daripada bawah SDC ke negeri China iaitu menggunakan 3D printer. Kita tahu 3D printer hanya terus jadi itu di scale up pakai pola rumah. Jadi menggunakan 3D printer pola rumah lengkap dalam masa yang pendek.
He further reiterated that the Sarawak government aims to revolutionize the state's building construction techniques using the most advanced technology available. As such, he said that the new method would reduce the reliance on foreign labor and improve the efficiency of digitalization in the development of the state.
We'll be taking a short break, but coming up right after, shopping while hungry, yay or nay, local expert weighs in. And the Paris protest flares out, set off in Louis Vuitton headquarters. Right here on TVS Nightline, stay tuned. Imagine this, after a visit from the Ramadan Bazaar and returning home with bags of food. However, statistics show that annually during Ramadan, tons of food end up in trash, with the seasonal phenomenon expected to last till end of Shawwal. According to senior lecturer of the Faculty of Social Sciences and Humanities, University Malaysia Sarawak Unimas, Dr. Lucy Sabli, overbuying during this period has its solutions, which can be mitigated through the level of awareness of the local community and businesses, entities alike.
She opined that food wastage can carry about many issues, such as waste in landfills and also harmful diseases, as well as creating a harmful effect towards the environment.
Now, in Malaysia, food waste and loss have become major contributors to the issues of food wastage. The government agencies responsible for solid waste management in Malaysia, Solid Waste Corp, reported that Malaysians generated 38,000 tons of waste per day in 2017, with about 15,000 being food waste, and this number is increasing. Furthermore, Malaysians are also reported to dispose of approximately 3,000 metric tons of food per day that is still fit for consumptions. Now, these waste end up in garbage bins or open dump sites, with food waste comprising 55% of the solid waste disposed of in landfill. And this not only creates an unpleasant odor, but also attracts vermin that have the potential to spread diseases to humans.
At the same time, in the spirit of Ramadan, she advised the community to realize the values of empathy and avoid gluttony, proposing many platforms and collaborations with companies to be used as a way to educate the public on the matter.
It's important to remember that excessive food waste during this time not only goes against the teaching of Islam, but also has a negative impact on the environment. Now, raising awareness on food waste can be done through various channels and programs such as social media. Social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram can be used to raise awareness on food wastage by sharing statistics, tips, and solutions for reducing food waste. Can also be effective. Collaborations with businesses by working with restaurants, supermarkets, and food producers to reduce food wastage can also raise awareness among consumers. For example, restaurants can offer smaller portions or leftover food to be taken home. Supermarkets can donate unsold food to charities, and food producers can also improve packaging and labeling to reduce spoilage. Behaviors and reducing food waste, there are steps individuals can actually can take to make a difference during Ramadan. Now, this includes do not shop hungry. Now, shopping for grocery or food when one's hungry can lead to overbuying and also food waste. Now, it is recommended, therefore, to shop after iftar or early in the morning, or to prepare a shopping list when you are full and stick to it. Now, easy said than done, of course. Modest is best in Islamic teachings, also emphasizes on, modesty and empathy for less fortunate. And therefore, during Ramadan, it is important to rethink what the month means and realize that meals do not have to be grander than regular meals. Eating modestly can also help to reduce food waste and save money. Another thing is by, storing your food properly. Now, proper storage of food can also help to extend its shelf life and prevent spoilage.
Kueh bingka, or big tapioca cake, has been one of Malaysia's favorite sweet treats. This traditional Malay delicacy is usually served for breakfast or tea time. But in the holy month of Ramadan, it has become a choice for iftar and more.
The traditional kueh bingka is made with simple ingredients of white rice, sugar, and coconut milk. However, the method of making kueh bingka differs according to the country and the individual who produces the kueh. A married couple, Muhammad Fakhrul Razi Abu Bakar and Putri Nadirah Izhar, their version offers 9 types of flavors to cater to the taste bud of both young and old generations. The flavors are pandan, sweet potato gula apong, green beans, corn, nestem, cheese, red beans, chocolate pad bread, and pumpkin.
Sebab mungkin pandan ibu dengan labu untuknya orang tua kah, orang muda kah, dua-dua suka. Tapi macam benda cheese tu mostly yang muda, macam coklat yang muda.
According to him, the selling of these unique flavors bingka can only be seen on the peninsula.
Kerana sambutan daripada existing customer, and then pasar malam pun nangga si banyak orang malam Datuk, and kat Semenanjung ada yang sukses malam Datuk. So why not kita try kat situ, and so far syukur alhamdulillah lah. Walaupun bisnes tu masih kecil, tapi ada perkembangan sikit-sikit lah.
The couple also received orders from customers outside of Kuching, such as from Pusa and Sarike.
Malaysia welcomes about 450,000 tourists from China as part of the agreement with China made during Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim's visit to the country. Tourism, Arts and Culture Minister Datuk Seri Tiong King Sing said future engagement sessions will be held to achieve a total of 5 million incoming tourists from China for 2023.
Tapi ada 2 travel agent sudah sign. Satu travel agent dia orang sign 350,000 pelancong. Satu sign 100,000. Bersama itu bekerja sama cooperation sama Tourism Malaysia. So harap dalam isu ini dia nak minta membantu 2 syarat saja. Satu visa, isu visa, satu SIK kapal terbang.
He was met during iftar session with foreign diplomats in Kuala Lumpur on Thursday night, where various Malaysian foods were displayed. Aside from that, the event also showcased elements of Malaysian arts and culture through musical performances, sape and gambus, as well as handicrafts such as songket, batik, wooden carvings by Kraftangan Malaysia.
The Home Ministry will give priority to adopted children and those born before independence when processing applications for Malaysian citizenship. The bulk of the remaining over 133,000 pending applications for citizenship comprises those adopted at a very young age.
Misalnya tadi, yang menerima surat kelulusan itu, dari kalangan penerima bila saya tanya, pelihara anak angkat ni sejak umur berapa? Sejak umur 1 hari. Dah berapa tahun memohon? Dah 12 tahun. Dah berapa tahun memohon? Dah 9 tahun. Jadi bayangkan kesan kepada mereka selama ini. Dan apabila kita mengeluarkan surat kelulusan warga negara ini, bermaksud akses kepada education, akses kepada kesihatan, dan apabila mereka menamatkan pekerjaan nanti, kehidupan mereka akan menjadi lebih ada kepastian. Itu yang penting.
He said that every procedure to approve citizenship applications is guided by the federal constitution. There are a total of 3,000 applicants for the category board before independence, where they have reached the age of 70 to 80 years. In the first 3 months, KDN has approved 6,079 applications with a target of 10,000 applications for this year.
Apapun kategorinya, saya bertekad untuk keutamaan adalah kepada kategori anak angkat yang paling banyak sebenarnya adalah daripada kategori ini.
Home Minister Datuk Sri Saifuddin Nasution Ismail has instructed the National Registration Department (NRD) for a re-investigation into the allegation of a woman cancer patient whose my card was confiscated, taking into account the situation of Lina Samuel, who is currently suffering from a serious illness.
Mereka telah pun, Jabatan Pendaftaran Negara telah pun menemui Madam Lina, dan kita akan cuba untuk membantu beliau sedaya mungkin. Pertama, untuk establish dulu daripada sumber-sumber yang dianggap legitimate, ya. Dan tugas jabatan di sini adalah untuk mempermudahkan, facilitate, memudah cara untuk beliau apabila kita tubuhkan jawatankuasa siasatan baru ini. Saya membuat arahan itu dengan spirit untuk memudah carakan sehingga membolehkan dia memiliki dokumen yang sah.
Saifuddin explained that there are 2 situations regarding the case, both involving women suffering from cancer and their personal documents.
Madam Lina ini, pada ketika dia mendaftarkan kelahiran anak dia dengan Jabatan Pendaftaran, pada sijil lahir anak dia itu ada kolom warga negara ibu. Di situ tercatat perkataan warga negara itu Indonesia. Di situ letaknya. Tapi dia pula pada masa itu memegang my card. Okay, jadi itu menyebabkan Jabatan Pendaftaran kemudian menjalankan siasatan. Dia bagi kerjasama yang baik kepada, sebab isunya adalah dokumen yang tidak teratur. Itu isunya. Jauh daripada niat untuk menzalimi atau memangsakan siapa, tak ada langsung.
He added that the results of NRD's investigation in 2019 found that the woman questioned was called, including the village chief, as a witness to determine her true origin. Saifuddin made these comments in response to the allegation that the woman had difficulty getting treatment after her identification document was confiscated by JPN.
Moody's Investors Service today affirmed the Malaysian government's local and foreign currency long-term issuer, as well as local currency senior unsecured debt ratings at A3, with a stable outlook. It said the rating affirmation reflects Moody's expectations that Malaysia's economic diversification and competitiveness, as well as the government's access to robust sources of domestic financing, will persist as credit strengthens, which will help to mitigate fiscal risk that have risen following the COVID-19 pandemic.
Moody said it also expects key economic policy-making institutions in the country to maintain their credibility and independence despite the heightened political turmoil that has led to 4 changes in government since 2018. It said the stable outlook reflects Moody's view that risks to the credit profile remain consistent with the A3 rating level based on current assumptions. The rating agency concurrently affirmed the foreign currency ratings on the backed senior unsecured debt issued by Malaysia's sovereign Sukuk Berhad, Malaysia Sukuk Global Berhad, and Malaysia Wakala Sukuk Berhad, special purpose vehicles established by the Malaysian government at A3. The associated payment obligations are, in Moody's view, direct obligations of the government. The rating agency also said that Malaysia's local and foreign currency country ceilings remain unchanged at AA1 and AA2 respectively. It noted that the 5-notch gap between the local currency ceiling and the sovereign rating is supported by policy-making institutions that remain transparent and effective despite recent political uncertainties as well as the country's strong external position.
In foreign affairs, union activists barged into the Paris headquarters of luxury good company Louis Vuitton on Thursday, saying that the French government should shelve plans to make people work longer for their pension and tax the rich more instead. In a 12th day of nationwide protest since mid-January, striking workers also disrupted garbage collection in Paris and blocked the river traffic on part of the Rhine River in eastern France.
Protesters lit red flares inside the LVMH headquarters and chanted songs before leaving peacefully. Trade unions urged a show of force on the streets a day before the Constitutional Council's ruling on the legality of the bill that will raise the state pension age by 2 years to 64. If the Council gives its approval, possibly with some caveats, the government will be entitled to promulgate the law and will hope this will eventually put an end to protests, which have at times turned violent and coalesced widespread anger against Macron. Demonstrators briefly blocked an access road to the council with rubbish bins, hanging a banner across the street reading constitutional censorship. The industrial action has lost some steam, and the protests have rallied thinner crowds in past weeks compared with the more than 1 million strong numbers seen earlier in the movement.
And finally, a 50-year-old Spanish extreme athlete has emerged from spending 500 days living in 70 meters deep in a cave outside of Grenada with no contact with the outside world, in an experiment closely monitored by scientists seeking to learn more about the capacities of the human mind and circadian rhythms. Beatrice Flamini, an elite sportswoman, is said by her sport team to have broken a world record for the longest time spent in a cave.
She was 48 when she went into the cave and celebrated 2 birthdays alone underground. She began a challenge on Saturday, November 20, 2021, before the outbreak of the Ukraine war, the resultant cost of living crisis, the end of Spain's lengthy COVID mask requirement, and the death of Britain's Queen Elizabeth II. Media coverage of her emergence into the light of spring in southern Spain on Friday was limited so as not to overwhelm her, but a broadcast on national television station have showed her wearing dark glasses and climbing out towards a support team grinning. Wearing masks, they encircled her in a hug. Speaking shortly afterwards, she described her experience as excellent and unbeatable. Pressed for more details by reporters, she added, "I've been silent for a year and a half, not talking to anyone but myself." Flamini spent her time underground doing exercises to keep her fit and busy, painting and drawing and knitting woolly hats. She took 2 GoPro cameras to document her time and got through 60 books and 1,000 liters of water, according to her support team. She was monitored by a group of psychologists, researchers, speleologists, specialists in the study of caves, and physical trainers who watched her every move and monitored her physical and mental well-being, though never made contact. According to Spanish news agency, her experience has been used by scientists at the universities of Granada and Almeria and a Madrid-based sleep clinic.
And that's all the time we have for TVS Nightline tonight. I'm Douglas Elliott. Thank you for watching and have a great weekend ahead.